Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, The Xanadu Chronicles. My name is Frank and today I'm going to do a haul video for you. Now I did one last week and this is not typically my thing, but as I had mentioned in that last video we did, there was an estate sale, a 4-day estate sale that we had gone to the first day when everything was still full price, and we knew it was going to be 4 days worth, and the last 2 days were the discounted days, with Monday, this past Monday, being the 50% off day. So we couldn't resist because, as I said in that last video, this place was filled to the brim. Rooftops and all, just completely filled with amazing stuff on that first day. Almost a little too overwhelming to take it all in. So we went back with really not a huge intention of buying, anything or a lot of things at all, but the deals were just too good and there's still a lot of great stuff left, and so we scoured the place and found some goodies and brought them home. So I'm going to do this haul for you and give you an idea of what these prices were like and what we got. And then at some point I'm going to also hopefully show you how we integrate them into our space, the items that are going to be placed in the home immediately. And so if we get them up before I launch this video on Saturday, then I will definitely include the pictures. This happened last time. Someone's really wanting to get a hold of me. But I will include the pictures of their placement as well. So let's get started. And we're going to start with the not so glamorous stuff, but still great deals in and of themselves. So look at this. It's a vinyl mattress cover for a queen size mattress. Now, you might be thinking, why would you buy that at an estate sale? Because these suckers are not cheap. And this was $5 for a queen, half price, $2.50, brand new. You can't beat it. And I needed one for our guest bed. So again, as I mentioned in our last video, keep your eyes open for stuff like this because, everyone needs it. And why spend the, full price bucks on stuff like this when you can get them at sales for nothing? And like I said, this place had everything and multiples of it. So it was crazy. Moving on. And for those of you who are new to the channel, just to give you an idea of our design style, we have what I call a modern British colonial aesthetic here. So a lot of antiques, a lot of collections, a lot of bright color, new pieces mixed with old pieces, and just really a big mixture of things influenced by the islands, right? So these are not necessarily part of that aesthetic, but candles. Everyone needs candles. I got this box of these short, stubby ones, which I've not necessarily looked for myself, but I've never really seen either. But I like them because they're unusual and they're different. They're, thicker and short and stout. And in certain candlesticks, these look better. And as you can see, it's tapered to fit a regular candle holder. So this full box, and like I would say, 4 of them are unwrapped but not used, and the rest of them are still wrapped in their plastic covering. $3 for the box, $1.50 for the whole thing, right? 50% off. So now, as I was saying, our aesthetic is British colonial, or modern British colonial. So I encourage you to please watch some of our earlier videos so that you can get an idea, because we do a walkthrough of the house, and then you can see what our style is like, and then a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about and the reasoning for why we chose them will make more sense to you. So again, more candles, but I just wanted to show you why. Because these are corally salmon colored candles, and there's some peachy colored ones as well, which in our home aesthetic here and in our styling works beautifully. And so long taper candles, these are smokeless, dripless, and self-fitting end, whatever that means. You will see that some of them have this, and I think that's what they mean by that. It kind of, really grabs onto the candlesticks. So I don't know how many I have in here. I definitely have at least 12. 6 of each color. And this box was $3, so $1.50 there too. Again, just to have those on hand when I want to throw a party and have some color. I typically buy, white colored or light colored candles. I really don't typically buy colored candles because In the past, we have not used them a lot, but again, we're down here in Florida, and now I want to integrate more color in everything we do. And as you can see, these are all wrapped. They're thinner than the other ones, but they're a beautiful, beautiful green color. You know, just like the foliage down here. So beautiful, beautiful, smokeless, dripless. Ooh, blocking my own face. Candles, and they're what, 12 inches? Yeah, 12-inch candles, right? So again, this box was $5 because I guess because they're brand new with the wrapping and all that. But $2.50 still. You can't beat that for hand-dipped candles made in the USA in Washington, New Jersey. So score us. Okay, so that's the more utilitarian stuff. Now we did get this because our dear friend who I spoke of in our last video, loves dogs. And so we decided we were going to get her, because she collects dog paintings, dog figurines, dog books, things like that, because she truly loves animals, and especially her dogs. And so we got her this book on dog stories it's $4, so $2. You know? Hopefully she'll get a lot of enjoyment out of it. So we'll give that to her when she comes back in February. And Jim spotted this. And now this is a coffee table book. And in our last video, or my last video, I talked about how difficult it is to find sizable coffee table books of note that look great on a table and have some heft to them. And this is the complete cartoons of the New Yorker. Now, I don't necessarily read the New Yorker, but I have read copies of them, and I looked at the cartoons, and this book is practically brand new in terms of, when you're looking at it, it looks in fantastic condition, and it's huge. I mean, look, it's huge, right? That's a coffee table book. Easily be able to put a lot of things on top of this or stack it with other books. So this was normally $15, right? So we got it for $7.50, but let's go see what the original price of a book like this was. When they bought it, it was $60, from what I can see. Yeah, $60. So nothing to guff at there, because that is and it's got 2 CDs. That's another reason why Jim liked it. I don't know why. Who has discs for their computers anymore? But but we have them with all the cartoons in it. So if we ever wanted to pull one up and use it, or I don't know. I don't know if we can do that, but oh well, whatever. If he ever wanted to look at them on a computer, then he can do it. So that's that. So 2 books. Now let's get into some of the fun stuff. I'm going to start with the smalls, and then we'll gravitate from there. So I have a box down here because I couldn't put everything on the table here. Actually, since I just showed you the books, excuse me as I reach down. This is something we spotted. It's a brass book. Okay, I just wanted to open it all up for you. It's a brass book display. So now, of course, it's probably used for cookbooks or whatever in the kitchen, but as I said in my last video, and I'm going to repeat here, I like to, when I'm displaying or creating a vignette, I like to display books open. So, of course, not this one because it's just words, but I have a lot of books with beautiful images, and I can put them on here in a vignette on top of a high cabinet or anywhere, even on a coffee table if you want, and open it up to different pages so that people can see. But it's hefty, it's large, it's got, I can set it up as high or as low as I'd like here, and I think I can put almost any book on here, including this New Yorker book. Now this was $40 originally. It's a brass cookbook book stand, $40. We got it for $20. Now, again, we try to buy things that are unique or that you don't see very often, and I probably will put this in my kitchen and use it in my kitchen. But off the top of my head, immediately when we saw it, I was thinking, oh, I'm going to use that for a vignette for sure, because we do have some beautiful books with gorgeous images in there. So a nice brass piece, and as you can see, it folds down flat. So it's, if I ever wanted to store it, it's pretty darn easy. So let me put this down here. I guess we're going to keep on the book thing because we seem to have gotten a lot of things that are kind of related to books. So this these are obviously a pair of bookends, the Thinker, right? And Jim spotted them, and you know, sometimes you buy things because for whatever reason you gravitate toward them and they, you know, strike a fancy, and that's what these did for Jim for whatever reason that might be. They were $40, $20. Now I typically I do love bookends, and I probably would not myself have grabbed these, but like I said, my husband loved them, and so we got them. $20, not bad, not bad. And they'll find their way into my bookcase, or another idea that I like to use bookends for. Now I probably won't do it for this because even though it looks like metal, it's actually ceramic. So, but the metal bookends that I have, I've got several pairs, as well as stone bookends. Stone bookends, I like to use them as door stops. So, you know, we've got several doors here that when the nicer weather here in Florida happens, it's pretty darn breezy where we're at, and we like to keep doors open, but you know how that works. Things will slam and shut if you don't have them propped open and held open by something kind of hefty. So I like to use them in that regard as well, and they work great. And they're really cool because there's something, you know, there's something different, and excuse me as I take a sip. Something different and interesting to look at floor height. Now let's get into the good stuff. Okay, I'm going to show you the artwork first because we kind of went nuts with the art. But that's okay because my philosophy is I would rather, and we have a lot of art in our house already, but I would rather put up something real art. And what I mean by that, and again, this is everyone has a different taste or idea of what art is. And for me, it runs the gamut, except I don't like prints. I don't like repos, you know, and stuff like that. I like real artwork, be it paintings of various forms, or hand drawings, or charcoal, or pastels, or watercolors. Just something that I can tell that someone actually did and made with their own hands. So I prefer that, and fortunately we don't have, I even like, I'm sorry to go back, but I just thought about it. I even like hand-painted etchings and plates. So, you know, those are actually printed, right? But somebody goes in and hand colors them. I actually like those too because they still have a handmade feel to them. So, whenever I see great art or real art, I definitely like to consider it, and if we like it enough, we pick it up. So, this was a good day for art. This was a good day for art. This is a beautiful painting. Now, in our bedroom, I am one of those people who I like to group my art. And so each of our rooms have kind of a main theme in terms of the art. And in our bedroom, it's seascapes, anything to do with the ocean or waterways, right? And so we found this beautiful painting, amazing painting. Now I'm going to try to stop using the word beautiful because I realized in my last video I used beautiful and amazing so many times I just was like, I probably wore the words down. So I'm trying to come up with other words, but sometimes, you know, the basics work, and beautiful is such a clear and concise word for defining what this is. Beautiful. Look at that, hand painted. And I like small pieces of art because, again, you know, they fit in those weird, awkward spots, and they're just fantastic to have in terms of creating a gallery wall. You need to fill in the small spaces. You can't have just big pictures. And so this was exceptional to me because I just loved it in terms of the colors and the lighting. And it was $65 normally, and so half of 65, what, $37.50? And you can see it's pretty old because of the canvas in the back and such. So, and it's in a gilded frame, so you can't argue with that. That's just gorgeous. So I guess today's word is going to be gorgeous. So I'm trying to put these down without messing it up. Okay, hold on. Next on the list, another piece of art. Now this was $25 originally, so $12.50, right? And it is a ink drawing. An original piece, and it says here St. Louis Cathedral, or St. Louis Cathedral. So St. Louis, Missouri. Even though it's got what looks to be palm trees in it, but isn't that kind of cool? And actually what drew us to it is the fact that there is this palm tree here, even though it says St. Louis Cathedral, and I don't think they have palm trees. It was done in '69, and so a year before I was born, but we actually really like it due to the simplicity of it and because of the green, the pop of green. It just made it feel really verdant and lush, and weirdly enough has a tropical feel to it. So I really like that a lot, and that's going to go up because we do have an area of our house that has primarily landscapes, but this could also go into another area of our house that has primarily architectural buildings. So we'll see where that ends up. And like I said, I'll provide you guys a picture of where all these things end up so that you can kind of get an idea. And I do encourage you to please take a look back through our video files and take a look at our reveal photos, or not reveal photos, revealed video that show our home so that you can see what I'm talking about in regards to this artwork groupings and themes. So here's another, it just says drawing, but it looks like it was a block print that was hand painted. So somebody printed on a block, and it's nicely matted, and it's old. I can't read necessarily the artist's name, but it was $40. And as I told you before, we lived previously in Seattle, Washington, and for some strange reason, this reminds us of a place in Washington called Snoqualmie Falls. And it is a waterfall scene, and at Snoqualmie Falls, there's a hotel there where we're talking about that has a building on one side and kind of a smaller building on the other side. This is obviously way bigger than that, but it just looks like it to us, and so we got it. And it will probably go in our landscape or a room with our landscapes because of the waterfall and the nature around it, even though it's got some buildings in there, but it kind of fits that grouping a lot better. So there's that. Okay, I don't want anything to get messed up. So these next two pieces go together, even though I'm not sure if they were actually, they had to have been done together because they're just too similar. And so this one was $20, and this is hand drawn. Again, this looks like it was block printed, and then some ink work done as well, as is this. And it says here, this one says rice fields, which is not what it is. This is actually like a serenity garden or rock garden, a Japanese rock garden. But this one was $40, so that's $20, and this one was $20, so it's $10. And I think I told you what the price is of that last one, right? Just to make sure. That was $40 as well. The one that looked like Snoqualmie Falls, the hand-colored block print. So $20 for that piece. So here's what, you see where I'm going with this in terms of the prices, because $20 for an original piece of art is freaking awesome. It's amazing. And so this is actually going to go into our living room because we do need a little bit of black in our living room, and we do have some prominent Asian pieces in our living room and dining room area, which is kind of one big space, open space. So it's going to fit nicely there, and hopefully it will create interest on a wall that's currently empty because we were waiting to find the right pieces. So we found them, and here they are. So this is going to go like this, or yeah, it's going to go like this, right? So just beautiful, simple, clean, modern in feel, right? They look very modern. They're very modernly styled in terms of the matting and the frame, and even the imagery looks very modern. You have to get up close to it to kind of know what it is. So, but whoever did it did a beautiful job. They are stamped by whomever did them, but they're block prints of Japanese rock gardens. And for those of you who may not know, the rock garden kind of concept came from monks as they developed this meditative task that had to get done anyways, but drawing those beautiful lines in the stones and creating the patterns that mimic water and rippling of the waves, etc., etc. Just beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, wonderful, talented folks doing an art form that's supposed to calm our minds and maybe help us mentally ground ourselves. Sounds like I need to take that up. I need to create a rock garden so that I can get a little bit more grounding in my life. Okay, so onward as I babble. So Jim and I, prior to all the craziness that's happened in the world in the last year and a half, were avid travelers, and we would typically go to Europe every other year. And one of the very first trips I ever took Jim to, I brought him to England because I had spent a part of my youth there, and I absolutely loved it. I loved the landscape, loved the people, loved the just everything about it. I am, as I said before, a huge Anglophile, and so one of the places I took him to was Bath, which is just an hour outside of London by train, and he loved it. I loved it, of course, and so when he saw this at the home we were at, the estate sale we were at, he snapped them up. Now these are actually prints, but they're limited edition, and they're the pictures in the series are all from original watercolors by Philip and Glenn Martin. So, and they're reproduced on a high quality acid-free watercolor paper. So these are all matted, and like I said, these are prints, but they're limited prints. And because of the subject matter, I broke down because Jim picked them up and was like, "Holy cow! Look at these! I mean, they're all wrapped. They're all in pristine condition. They're all of different places in Bath. Bath Cathedral, which is stunningly gorgeous if you've never been. The Crescent, which is now they're apartments, but there were Bath used to be a place where the rich folk of London would go to rest and get healed, because supposedly there were healing waters there. There's a hot spring, a natural sulfur hot spring that is located there that people believed had healing properties, and they would bathe in it, and they would drink it, and all that kind of good stuff. So these were each $10, so $5 each, and originally they were 13 pounds and 50 pence. So I don't know when these were purchased, but $13.50, I always pretty much, the pound is almost double the dollar. So I just pretty much double it to get an estimate of what the cost would be. So we're talking about a $27 print approximately, but let's call it $25 print originally that we got for $5 each. And there are 2, 4, 6, 8 of them here. So we actually have frames. We have a series of frames that are empty that I think these will fit in. So once we pull those out and try them out, we might already be set to have a nice little gallery set up just for Bath itself. But so we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do with these. So these aren't gonna go up right away, but like I said, they're a stunning little addition to our collection of architectural buildings. Like I said, we have a section that has that. So that's all the artwork, traditional artwork that we have. I'm just scanning here. I'm going to grab something over here because though it's not actual, traditional art, I consider it art because it is textile. And textiles, as I talk while I'm not in front of the camera, to me are still they are an art form. Textiles to me are definitely an art form. And so when we spotted this, oh my gosh, I almost peed my pants a little bit because, again, these people had an office room, they had an art room, they had a sewing room. They just had, this house just had rooms dedicated to sole functions, and this sewing crafting room was chock full of gorgeous fabrics, beading and machines and accessories and notions and buttons and thread and just everything you could think of. Unfortunately, a lot of the colors of the materials and such were not in the colorways that we have in our house. So I unfortunately did not get as much fabric as I would have hoped to have been able to get. But what I did find is spectacular because it is chinoiserie, which in our home plays a large role in our decor because it did so in the British colonial style. Chinoiserie and things like that were brought by the British soldiers to the islands and integrated into their decor, right? Because they had been trading with China and the Orient for a long time. So let me show you this fabric. This is the main scene. You know, pagoda, a couple of people, a few people, somebody with a lady with a nice little parasol, palm trees, but this is the main pattern of the piece, and as you can see, it is a nice, soft, watery blue, and all the colors here relate amazingly well to all the colors in our home. The greens and the blues and the pinks and the corals and all that, and the yellows and the golds, all of that can be found in our home. And so this is actually going to work itself into a project that I have decided I'm going to do in the upcoming weeks. So keep your eye out for that. But I don't know why I'm going to try to pull this, but I might as well just show you a little bit more. I'm just going to open this puppy up and show you some more because, let me stand up. It's too, I mean, and look at how much fabric that is. That's, I mean, I probably have, shoot, I would have to say at least 8 yards of fabric. And it's hefty, it's heavy. Can you see everything? Look at how beautiful that is, how gorgeous. It is hefty, hefty, hefty. And this was originally $10, so I got it for $5. I got it for $5, and when you see what I'm going to do with it, because it's not just going to become, oh, I just realized I'm talking and only my chest is showing. So let me say that again. The upcoming project is something that, you know, most people don't think about using or making for their homes, but I'm going to do it. It's not just going to be a pillow. It probably will, I will probably have enough to do at least a couple pillows that I can throw around the house so that I can integrate this pattern in other rooms because they'll work beautifully in all the rooms that I have. But I'm also going to be doing a valance in our guest bedroom, so that's going to definitely work itself into that room as the valance material because, I mean, you saw how gorgeous it is. And I've got a bevy, a huge lot of amazing fabric, but this could not be more perfect for what my intentions are here. And like I said, it's going to integrate so well in all the rooms that I put it in. So excited! Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay, all right, there's the fabric. Let me pull this thing out next. So this is a huge platter. As you can see, it's signed in the back, and unfortunately I cannot read. I can't tell if that is Chinese or Japanese, but it's Asian for sure. It's a ginormous plate, a display platter, right? And they had several platters or display plates there, but this was one of the few that were left on the 50% day. So it was $40, and so we got it for $20. And it just says blue and white porcelain. But it's about a foot in diameter. So if not a little bit more, it's, oh no, actually I measured it, it's 16 inches. This is 16 inches, not 12 inches. It's 16. So that, as anyone would agree, is a steal. 20 bucks, you can't beat that. I mean, even at 40 bucks, that is a good price because these people were collectors. They were restaurateurs and they were collectors of, oh my gosh, just amazing stuff. I can't even describe to you. And I have a little video because our friend from Seattle did not want to miss out. So we actually called her because there were some items she was interested in. And so she actually purchased as well, or we purchased for her, so she'll pick them up next time. But they just had, I mean, really high-end tastes and collections of all sorts. So if anybody left there without at least one thing, I can't understand how, because there was something for everyone. So that's the plate that we got, and I will show you where we end up hanging that, because it will be hung. Now, as I get up again, hopefully I won't forget to sit down before I start talking, but before I get up, I'm gonna get a little sip of my coffee. Okay, folks, so now we're on the home stretch. We've got the, what I consider probably some of the best items in terms of prices coming up. So let's get started with that. Excuse me as I disappear from the screen, but you can see why now, because look at this ginger jar. It is ginormous, blue and white, and there is no signature on it, so I have no idea. I think it's Chinese, obviously, because it's got the phoenix and the dragon design on it. But I'm going to assume that the provenance is of note, either vintage or antique, because of where we bought it from and the kind of stuff that they had in their home. So I couldn't pass this up. I tried to walk past it, but and I'm not a big collector of blue and white really, other than my blue willow dishes and such that I collect in that regard. But just these type of items, I don't typically purchase the blue and white. I'm not a big blue and white person, but I couldn't pass this up. For some reason I just kept walking past it and couldn't stop looking at it, because the price normally was $65. So that's $32.50 for this honking thing. Look at that. And it's definitely going to figure itself into one of my vignettes this upcoming fall when I switch things out. I did mention that in my last video, but it's going somewhere. It's going somewhere. And keep an eye out, because I will obviously, when I do that switch out, I'm going to do a video on that for you guys so you can see what I do. But you'll see the sucker again. $32.50. $32.50. You can't get that at a discount home store, okay? Well, this could be from a discount home store for all I know. But, like I said, based on the provenance of the people who owned it before me, I would have to say it's probably got some kind of note to it, some sort of provenance to it, okay? And now for, oh my gosh, probably one of my favorite things that we got, at the sale. And you can hear me straining, because this is one of a pair of cloisonne vases. They're Japanese. They're as tall as the ginger jar. So they're probably, I would say, probably almost 2 feet tall. And they are hefty. And as you can see, the patterning, and I'm going to move one out of the way. I just wanted you to see that they were part of a pair. But as you can see, the pattern, the enamel work, it's all flora, all flowers, and very floral looking. And the colors are just, pink, lime green, turquoise blue, dark blue, white, deeper green. Look at that. Just amazing. And then you can see incised into the brass form itself, the background are various patterns that just make for a stunning piece. And what I like about this is that even though I know it's Japanese, and I could tell by looking at the background design, that told me it was Japanese before I even read the label. But really, if you look at it, what I really like about this piece, and one of the reasons why I couldn't stop thinking about it when we were there and had to just ultimately break down and get it, is the fact that the design looks kind of culturally ambiguous to me. Even though I love the fact that it's Japanese, it could be Moroccan, it could be Middle Eastern. It's just one of those designs that translates to those different cultures quite easily, and also to me looks very modern. It's very modern, even though it's an old piece. It still looks very modern to me, and I love that. And it works just so well with the aesthetic. And for those of you guys who don't know, cloisonne is an art form that many cultures have their own form of cloisonne, but it's molten enamel, and it's poured into these beautiful forms that are these designs that are made using filigreed, brass. So basically, they create this design out of this thin piece of brass that creates a little well that they pour the molten enamel in, and you get this. I mean, my gosh, talk about the patience. Oh my goodness gracious. Mine would have been one blob of color, but and okay, get ready for this. This is gonna just blow your mind. For the pair originally, it was $250. So that alone, on its own, is an amazing price, but we got it on the 50% off day. So for the pair, $125 for the pair, making the grand total per item $62.50. Like, I mean, $62, period, 50 cents is what each of these amazing vases comes down to in terms of price. So, pat myself on the back, because this is a score, and I just, I'm excited to put it where I think we're going to put it. And again, I will show you once it's in its place, eventually, either in this video if we're able to get it up, or at some point in the near future when I do the switch outs, I'll include this picture in there. So keep your eye out for these vases, because they are going to be in my space, I won't tell you where, soon. Alrighty? $62.50! $62.50 for each of these. Let me put it aside. Okay, excuse me for 1 second. Now the last two items, I'm not going to be able to display in front of you because they are large and they are rugs. So one is a runner, and I'll put a picture of it up for you to see, but it is a Kerman all-wool runner, handmade, and it's either vintage or antique. I can't tell you which because it did not have a date on the label for the item, but again, I am going based on the provenance of the people that we bought this from, and in their home. I mean, I've seen a lot of places with a lot of antique rugs, but my gosh, this place had it all. Every kind, from every region, from Chinese Art Deco to, Bukharas to, oh gosh, I'm losing my train of thought because I can't remember all the names of them. But you know what I'm saying. They just had a lot of antique rugs. Palatial size, small, tiny prayer rugs from the Middle East. They just had it all. And so we scored some, this runner being one of them, and our friend Sandy also, who we dialed in, got like 3 rugs too for her space. So she's excited about that. But this Kerman, as you can see, has a creamy colored background. And again, very reminiscent of the cloisonne vases that I just showed you. They've got the blues and the pinks and the purples and the lavenders and just all those bright tropical florally colors. And the pattern is very florally. Even though it's kind of an overall feel, when you look closely at it, you can see some distinct floral forms, but the overall impression is it's just like a field of flowers, right? It looks like a field of freaking flowers. And it's just so pretty, so pretty. So I can't wait to get that cleaned and to see what it looks like. And we actually got that for our hallway, for our elderly pup, so that she has a little bit better traction. So I'm excited to see what that looks like all cleaned up. And the price for that originally was listed at $350. So we got it for $175 for a 16-foot rug. Unheard of. Absolutely freaking unheard of. So score again. And then finally, the last rug we got is a smaller piece. It's about 4x5. Yeah, about 4x5, almost a square. And it's for our laundry room area. And this is probably the darkest of our rugs. And again, I'll put up a picture so you can see. But it's the darkest of our rugs. And it's in our laundry room, but it still has bright bursts of color in there. But I think it works out great for that space because that doorway leads out to our garage. And, we're talking about coming in from a dirty space or dirtier space into the house, somewhere to have a darker rug. I guess that would be a best spot, or the best spot to put it because of where you're coming in from. So I think it's going to work out great. I'm going to get that cleaned too to see if it can brighten it up a little bit, but even if it doesn't, the darker tones will work beautifully in there. So we got that, originally priced $95, and so half of that, what is that, $42.50 for the rug? And again, antique rug, you just can't beat that. I mean, auction sites, sometimes you can get a deal like that, but oftentimes and not really. They were pricing their rugs to go, and they went. I don't think there was a rug left that wasn't sold by that last day. So, with that said, we are done. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, I don't typically do haul videos, but I just couldn't hold back after this haul. And please let me know what you liked about it. If you liked it at all, I hope you did. And if you did, maybe I'll do more. But please comment, please subscribe, please tell your friends and family to watch and subscribe. And I will see you next Saturday with a new project or a new video. So stay tuned. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next week. If you haven't seen our previous videos, click on the links and watch away. Please share, like, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. We'll do our best to keep you entertained and coming back for more. Bye for now.